Hi, my name is Erin Stevens, and I'm the Public Information and Communications Manager for the Town of Concord. I'm here today for Concord Conversations with my guest, Kate Hanley, the Sustainability Director for the Town of Concord. Welcome, Kate.
Thanks for having me.
So can you tell me a little bit about what it means to be the Sustainability Director?
Sure. So the town in 2017 set ambitious sustainability goals around reducing our greenhouse gas reductions. So our goals are to reduce 80% by 2050, which is in alignment with the state goals and the Paris Climate Accord. And in hiring me, my role is really to meet those goals. So chart a course for how, as a community, we can reduce our greenhouse gas emissions and our contribution to climate change and be more sustainable. And also, I see my role as inspiring and supporting the community in being part of the solution.
That sounds like a really lofty set of goals.
It's ambitious, but it's important.
So what specifically drew you to Concord? What makes it so special?
Some of the things I love about Concord are obviously the culture and the history. As a kid, I came to Louisa May Alcott's house for a project, and I grew up in Massachusetts, so it's a very familiar feeling to be here. But I think what really drew me to this role in Concord is the fact that Concord's really taking leadership on addressing climate change and has been doing sustainability work long before even committing to these goals throughout town. And you know, one of the things that I really love about being here is the people. And people are really excited and passionate about a lot of issues, and in particular sustainability, and are really dedicated to doing the work that we need to do together.
Yeah, they do a really great job here in Concord, and we're really proud of what we have.
Mm-hmm.
So what does sustainability in Concord look like? Are you looking to do specific things, or is it more of an overall approach?
So sustainability, kind of the classic definition, is preserving today and preparing for the future.
Which is something we definitely do here.
Yeah,
We're
and
trying.
so Concord has a long history of preservation, environmental conservation. But when we think about our sustainability goals around greenhouse gas reductions, it's really looking at our contribution to climate change and reducing that contribution. So sustainability is really looking at how to reduce our greenhouse gas emissions, which is by doing things like reducing our energy use, and just being more conscious of how we're using our natural resources. But tackling climate change also means adapting to the impacts that we're already seeing. So in town, we're already seeing more flooding, we're seeing droughts, we're seeing heat waves, we're seeing extreme storms. Just last March, we had 3 nor'easters, which is pretty unusual for us. And so knowing that we're already seeing the impacts in town and we're gonna see more of those, what can we do to be prepared, to be resilient to those impacts too? So really looking at both mitigating our impact and preparing for the future.
Yeah, we never thought we'd see a tornado here in Concord.
No.
I don't think. That's something that kind of threw everybody off.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it really brought up how serious this is, and it's something that we have to be consciously looking at and looking forward.
Yeah.
So can you tell me a little bit about what you've been working over for the past year and what you've been doing?
Yeah, so I've been in my role for just about a year now, and a lot of what I've done the first year is been getting to know the groups in town that have been working on sustainability and learning about what's already been done, and that's a lot, which is great. And then also looking at, you know, we have these big ambitious goals and we want to meet those, but first, where are we now so we can chart a course for the future? So we've been doing what's called a greenhouse gas inventory, which is basically a carbon footprint for the town. Where are our emissions coming from? And it gives us a good baseline and a good idea of kind of our hotspots, or what are the biggest things we need to tackle. And those for us, not surprisingly, are buildings and transportation. So I've been working on kind of establishing that baseline and figuring out where can we get started and where can we make the most bang for our buck.
Makes a lot of sense. So what is a project that you've really been on the ground with? Is there anything that people might have seen you doing, or you know, different things that have been going on in town that you've been really involved with?
One of the things that's been really fun has been working with some of the students here at the high school.
I saw that on Facebook.
Yeah, so connecting with Peter Nickel and the Rivers and Revolutions class and the Green Team. So the Green Team helped me to do a Facebook Live about how do you reduce your waste during the holidays, which is an important part of our sustainability efforts in town.
It's very useful information too.
Yeah, I try to focus on practical tips, and I think that there's a lot of good solutions out there for being more sustainable that people can take every day at home, that are easy and don't change the way that we live. And so also working with the Rivers and Revolutions class, a group of students decided for their stewardship project that they wanted to focus on energy. So I connected them with this group Green Impact campaign that's a national group where you can be trained to do energy audits in small businesses. So they did the training and they went out to 26 businesses in Concord and offered to do an energy audit. And they did a lot of them, and they'll be sharing the results with the businesses and giving them some quick wins for things that they can do to reduce their energy use and save money. So that was really fun. Hope to do more of those collaborations. And then on the municipal side, making sure that we're really leading by example in our municipal operations. And so we've gotten an electric vehicle for the town, which a lot of people may have seen us driving around in, which has been fun, and I think also a good example of how do we tackle our emissions in town. Buildings and vehicles are our biggest sources of emissions, so those have been some fun projects working on.
Yeah. Have any other departments really started to look at this? I know that the light plant's done some things, as well as water and sewer. Are there any other projects that we want people to know about?
There are so many. We could be here all day.
Just talk about a couple, maybe.
But I think that all the departments have really integrated sustainability into the way that they operate, which is the best way to make sustainability happen. The town has had sustainability principles since 2011, and some of the things that I think stand out are, obviously the light plant. We're really lucky to have our own municipal light plant, and that there's a lot of local control, and that offers a lot of reliability and low rates, but it also offers the ability to increase the amount of renewables that go into our electricity supply. So the light plant's been doing a lot of work on energy efficiency, but also increasing the share of renewables in the electricity that we provide throughout town. And then our water and sewer division has done a lot of work on water conservation and continues to do that. And we see some of the town vehicles are becoming more efficient. The police department is adopting more electric vehicles. So there's a lot of great examples of departments who are really embracing sustainability and showing that we can really be leaders in this.
Yeah, I think that especially as a town, we can really move things forward and show that it doesn't have to be difficult.
Yeah.
It's something that everybody can do, and maybe we can get more towns around Massachusetts and the country to start adopting these same sorts of principles.
Yeah, it's really just a matter of not changing what you do, but how you do it. And we can still meet all the needs that we have to serve the community, but be doing it in a way that's more environmentally friendly and oftentimes saves money. Driving our electric vehicle saves a lot of money on fuel, and so there's a lot of co-benefits to doing sustainability efforts.
Yeah, that's really great. Is there any sort of thing that you really want to do in the next year? Do you have like a specific project in mind that you're really excited about, or are you just looking to really move things forward and keep going?
There are so many things that I want to do, but I think what I'm really excited about in this next year is continuing to work with our town departments to lead by example, because I think that's really important. There's a lot of grant opportunities that I spend a lot of my time making sure that we're taking advantage of all those funding opportunities, because Concord really is leading in the state, particularly in the size of community we are. I think there's a lot of opportunity to really drive change throughout Massachusetts, but we recently established a Climate Action Advisory Board, and their role is to advise me and the town on how to achieve our ambitious climate goals. We have our goals, we have our baseline, and now we have to figure out how we connect the dots. And working with that board, we're going to develop a climate action plan, and that will really be our roadmap for how do we get to a sustainable and resilient Concord in the near and long term.
That sounds great. You have a lot to do.
It's a big job, but it's a lot of fun, and I have a lot of support from people in town.
That's great. What can people in town do? Is there some ways that they can get involved or things that they can do themselves that will help push your initiatives forward?
Yeah, I would say the first thing is to figure out what is your contribution. So looking at your carbon footprint in your home and in the way that you live your life. And there's a lot of online calculators that people can use to figure out what's your carbon footprint. And then start to make a couple changes. Start with something easy, getting a reusable water bottle, a reusable coffee mug, getting some reusable bags, and just thinking about the little things that you do, because every little bit counts, and sustainability is a team effort.
And plus, a lot of the places that you go will give you a discount. They'll give you a 5-cent or 10-cent discount for bringing your own bag, or if you can, bring your own water bottle, you can fill it up for free. You don't have to pay for water.
Yeah, we got
which is a great feeling.
A lot of bottle fillers in town. So thinking about those kind of little things that you can do. I would also encourage everyone to get a home energy assessment because they're free, and they'll give you a lot of tips for where you can really save money on energy in your home. There's a lot of great sustainability groups in town, and so I would encourage everyone to check out the sustainability website, concordma.gov/sustainability. There's a lot of information there on what you can do in your home, what you can do on the move, and how you can get involved in community groups. And I would also say follow us on social media. We have a Facebook page and a Twitter, and the handle is Concord Climate.
That's great. So my last question for you, and thank you so much for coming on and talking with me.
My pleasure.
Can you tell us one fun fact that some people might not know about you?
I think probably a fun fact would be that when I was in middle school, my cousin and I, for a project, did a video on El Nino, which is a weather-related phenomenon, which many people may be familiar with. And this was in the early days of video production, and so I think that was a really fun project and probably one of my first interests in climate and weather. So that may
so it really goes far back.
It may have even led me to today.
Well, that's great. Well, thanks so much for coming and chatting with me, and we'll be sure to get people more involved.
Thank you.